Hello, everyone. Let's get started on this webinar. There's a lot to cover in the next hour. Try and keep it to under an hour, and then we'll get going right away on this. Other people will join as they can. So welcome. Glad you could join. Thanks for joining. And let's see what's going on with Microsoft Teams and Crow Canyon business applications. I am Scott Restivo, President and CEO of Crow Canyon Software. We've been in business for over 20 years. We're a preferred partner with the Microsoft Office 365, or what they call Microsoft 365 now. We're also a California certified small business. We have a number of applications, a number of things we do in the Microsoft Office 365 and SharePoint space. Over the last 20 years, we evolved out of the Outlook public folders and Microsoft business applications that were enacted in the public folders into the SharePoint world, and we've been in the SharePoint world ever since 2007. So that's like almost 13, 14 years now. And we evolved along with it. So we're up to SharePoint 2013, 2016, 2019, and very heavily in the Microsoft, and well, it's called Microsoft 365. I call it Microsoft Office 365 or Office 365, but that world, also the cloud-based world, and now Teams has become a very important part of our portfolio. So we're gonna go into that today. We're gonna talk about Microsoft Teams integration with our Crow Canyon applications. There's 4 areas we are going to cover. Now, before I jump into this, I do want to mention some things about the webinar. We will have a recording available after. There is a question box in your, I guess the panel, the webinar panel that you signed up, and there's a question box there, and you can enter in questions anytime, and we'll have staff on board to help answer that as we go through it. And of course, you can always set up one-on-one demos or email us at sales@crowcanyon.com to stay in touch, or give us a call. A lot of information on our website on how to contact us. We love to discuss these things. We love to find out what your take on it is, or where you're at with Microsoft Office 365 and Teams and business automation, business process automation. So we have a lot of these conversations, and we're glad to talk to you about it and see what more we can do, because our job here is to help your organization be successful, to increase efficiency and perform better for your employees, your customers, your citizens, your members, whatever your organization does. We help it do better using the Microsoft Office 365, SharePoint, and Teams platforms. Okay, so we're going to talk today about Microsoft Teams integration with what we've done at Crow Canyon so far, and this keeps evolving and growing, but we wanted to showcase what we have already. So there's 4 areas we're going to cover. We have our Nitro Studio. Nitro Studio is our application creation platform that's used on top of SharePoint and Office 365 to build applications, either custom applications or do-it-yourself applications, but also our business applications. And we'll go into that and show you how we've integrated Teams with that platform. I'll show you an FAQ bot, then we'll go into the end-user self-service bot and the staff support bot. All the bots are Teams bots that run inside of course, inside of Microsoft Teams. So first thing we'll cover is, oh, I know she did another slide in purple. Okay, all right. Well, there's the same stuff in a nicer looking slide. Okay, so first we're going to talk a little bit about Teams, not too much. We have done a number of Teams webinars, and we had a summit in April with 3 MVPs that went into Teams. So this webinar is not about how to use Teams. There's a lot of information in Teams, on Teams on the web and other places, also on our website. We've done a number of blogs, and we had summits, we have videos about governance, administration, usage of it. We're focusing right now on our integration, which involves bots and self-service bots and other things with Nitro Studio, which we'll show you in a moment. But Teams fits well into the digital workplace. It's a very important component. It's adopted. The use is becoming much more widely adopted due to the remote workforce situation that we're in. It's a strong collaboration communication channel, taken over for whatever people might have been using before, whether it was Skype or Skype for Business or maybe Slack or something like that. Even emails, it takes over for that, and it's a growing usage. So I think a lot of interest in Teams. Every time we do a Teams webinar, there's many people attend, and they want a lot of information about it. So I won't delve too much into Teams itself and all the various, it's a whole universe in itself. but there's many resources on our website. We have blogs on it. We have the Team Summit you can check out here, and we'll make these slides available as part of the follow-up of this webinar. So let's jump right into what we're doing with our Teams integration. So we have a number of applications right out of the box. These run in SharePoint on premises and in Microsoft Office 365. We are focused today on Office 365 because that's where Teams is located. So we have a number of core business applications that are ready to go out of the box, put them in place, and then you can put them to use. They run it mostly in the SharePoint environment. Now with the Teams integration, you'll be able to access and interact with these applications quite well from the Teams interface as well. So there's a number of them here. You can see them on our website, and go drill into each one. There's a lot of resources about each one. So what I want to say about our applications, with each application, you get the full power of the Nitro Studio, and now including the Teams integration. All our applications run in SharePoint Office 365, that's SharePoint on premises, 2013, 2016, 2019, and Office 365. They're powered by Nitro Studio. These are Nitro powered applications. They have all the features and functionality that comes with our Nitro Studio is in each application. So when you get an application, you get that. You get the forms and workflows, the reporting, the portals, the bots, and we've expanded Nitro as time goes on, more and more and more to make the applications more powerful. Like I mentioned, we have portals, we have bots, we have the Teams integration. So these applications are really, really useful, practical, used by organizations around the world to automate and make more efficient, core business processes, whether it's in IT, HR, facilities, marketing, administration, any kind of purchasing, so we have a number of them that work based on our Nitro platform. So now with the Teams integration, we'll be able to access those from within Teams as well as the other sources of other ways to interact. So it's like you can always interact through the web pages or SharePoint or email. And now we've added on the Teams integration that go to our Nitro powered applications. That's all those ones, the help desk, the onboarding, the work orders, the purchasing, the contract renewal, the asset management, equipment tracking, all those running inside of Office 365 can now be accessed, always could be accessed these ways, but now with Teams, we added a new way of integrating that's according with the model that a lot of remote workforce, the direction that a lot of people are going with how they interact with Office 365 and the SharePoint. So let's talk about integration with Nitro Studio, and then you'll start to see more what I'm talking about. I don't want to go too much into slides and talk. I want to do a lot of demo here, so let's go for that, okay? Okay, so Nitro Studio, in fact, that's an image of Nitro Studio, but I'm gonna drag over the web page here that actually shows it in live action. Here's Nitro Studio right here. So Nitro Studio runs in a site in SharePoint. It has all these capabilities and features. We built this. This is our tool. We work on it. We improve it, customize it, enhance it. So we have total control over this. It runs on top of the SharePoint and Office 365 world with forms, workflows, reports. Now, if you want to know more about Nitro Studio itself and you're interested in what its capabilities are, we have a number of webinars we've done on that. You can do a one-on-one demo, a lot of information on the site, and we're going to have some upcoming webinars. We have monthly workshops on it, a lot of information going on about the Nitro Studio itself. So I'm not going to delve too much into it, but do mention that we have a workflow manager and we have a custom actions tool. And these are where we put our Teams integration, and I want to show you that right now. So here's Nitro Studio. Here's a request management. It's a request management system, just a demo site. And in the request management system is a list of requests. It's kind of a very basic site that we put together for demo purposes. So what happens now? We also have a team situation over. Let me bring that over. The Teams. That's it's a lot of screens here. So let me go over here. Okay, here's Teams. Here's Teams, right? Okay, we have a human resources team. We have a projects team. Okay, so now we have a request. We've gone with a new request. We're going to make a new request right here. It's going to be an HR onboarding request. We choose a category of onboarding. This, by the way, is our Nitro forms. I was using some dynamic capabilities where it just popped up these 4 fields which weren't there from another category. If you see, they disappear. You know, that's one of our features of dynamic forms, is the Nitro forms. Okay, so we're gonna put somebody's name in here. Roger. That was a good one. Roger Rabbit. Let's go with that one. Job title, developer, IT. So we're doing a new onboarding request, for example. This isn't our onboarding program. I'm just doing a simplified demo of it, but just to show you what's possible. And the guy's going to start June 1st. Okay. What I want to show you now is that when I submit this request, it's going to go over here and create a message inside of Teams in the onboarding. I believe I have set up to go onboarding, not general. Onboarding team channel, really. There's nothing here now, right? So let's go see that in action. If when I create this, it does it. So I'm creating this new request, creating a new item in there, create a new one, number 65, this one right here, right? And let's see if anything shows up over here. Of course, demos, let's see, make sure it happens, and see if it shows up in this message here that there's been a new, where are we? Onboarding. Okay, maybe we went to general. Okay, let's go. The message is supposed to show up here in onboarding. That's what I thought I had it set to. So we go here. Let's check the custom action, see what's happening then. Here's a custom, no, not custom action, the workflows here, and see what's happening. So this is set up in the workflows. We have Nitro Workflows to set this up. The Nitro Workflows. In the Nitro Workflows, this is how you set this up. You can either notify a team or create a channel. Let's look at the onboarding notification. This is our Nitro Workflow tool. And here we have, if the category equals onboarding, we are going to send a notification to Teams, to the channel. What channel? Well, let's go look. The channel, we're going to send a send email to channel actions. We're going to go to this channel right here. We're sending an email, and it says this channel. Now, what we're doing here is taking the email address of this channel. So the email address of this channel is right here, 6C93B, right, like that. And we put it in here, 6C39, whatever, and there it is. So there it is. From the admin account, it's going to send a new request to Teams and show up there in our team. So we can go there, cancel that. And it's funny, someone said to me earlier, he says, you know, it's going to happen that you do the demo and it doesn't show up. Let's try that again. Let's go through it again. We go to new. We go to HR onboarding. I think I might have done something wrong here. So hold on. Here's a new request. HR onboarding, the category of onboarding. Okay, onboarding, it's a category. And we're going to have this new employee again. Let's call it this one, call it a different name, Roger. And job title again would be developer and IT, and the start date will be June 1st, June 2nd. Let's do that. Okay, when I save this new item, then it goes over to Teams and shows up a message right here. Here it is, new onboarding request for Roger Rogers. We just put that up, developer, start date, department, and then we can even click over to the original request here in the request system. So there we are. So we sent a request we created a new HR onboarding request, and it went over to Teams to notify the HR team here that there's a new request, and they can go in here and go to link the request. They can open up the item, you know, like this, open it up and see it, just like as if we open it up from the back end. And there they go, and they can start working on it and do whatever they need to do on it. So that is one example of how the Nitro Studio will now create a message in Teams using a workflow due to the automatic submission of a new ticket being created, a new item. Now, what it also can do is create a new channel. So in this case, we look at the idea of a new project. So let's go with a new project here. So with a new project coming on board, you may want to create a channel for that project. So if you go to new project here, you go to new project, and you give it a project name. Let's say it's office move. I don't know, office move. You can put a description if you want, but let's keep it simple. So now let's look at teams prior to me sending this in, and we see that there's a projects team, there's a channel of general, and a channel of server move. Okay, I'm in SharePoint, I'm in our application, and I said, okay, new project, category of new project, and the project name is office move, whatever, and then submit it. So you may want to do this automatically, create a new channel every time there is a new project, you know, because your team wants to collaborate or cooperate in that project. So let's go here and see if it did that over here. And yep, one hint, here it is right here, office move. And you could set it to public or private and do all kinds of other things in it. So it just created this channel. And now the team could collaborate in this, and with that earlier tool I was just showing you, you can send messages back and forth. So you can keep in communication between teams and your back-end application here. And that, like I said, is set up in the Nitro Studio, in the workflows right here. And you can see it in this one called Create Channel for New Project, and just come in and configure it. And you know, we can delve into the details of how that's done. And there's a lot of placeholders you can put in. So the new channel has a name that you put into the form of the project could show up. I mean, there's all kinds of things you can do to be more granular about how that channel operates. But you know, the idea here is there's two different actions we're doing. One is sending a notification or message to an existing channel, or we're creating a new channel. Now that can also be done in, that's our workflow manager. When a ticket's created, it could be when a ticket's modified, a ticket's completed. You can do all these things of messaging teams at that time. Now what you can also do here is, if you want to, do it right from a custom action right here, notify HR team. Maybe you don't want to do it automatically through a workflow that runs when the ticket is saved, but you want to do it user initiated. This is our custom actions tool, pushing it here, and it will notify the team's channel over here. So notify HR team is going to send a notice over there and notify the team that there is, see, a new onboarding message just came in. New onboarding request created for Roger Rogers. Anyways, whatever the message you put in there in your custom action, that was sent over from our system to there by using our custom action tool. In our Nitro Studio, we have the workflow manager and we have the custom actions. The workflow manager, I showed you the notification of sending an email, of creating a channel, and custom actions has the same capabilities. And here we are in our custom actions, our cool looking custom actions tool. You can do all kinds of great stuff with this. This is, again, why you should take an interest in Nitro Studio. Amazing amount of capabilities, blah, 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 blah. And we added this new thing about teams, where you can also create a channel by pressing the button on the form, user initiated versus system initiated. Using custom actions or user initiated, using workflows are more system initiated, but they do the same thing. They create a Teams channel or they send a message to Teams. And you could configure that quite easily in our custom actions. Just go in and decide what channel you want to send it to. You can choose, you know, when you send a message, email, what team, what channel, what type. You can do all kinds of, you know, particular configurations, what you want that message to say. Oh, what I want to show you also is you can put in placeholders so that you have these placeholders of what's on the ticket itself or the request become placeholders that you can add onto the message going in. So it can be very particular to that item when you send the message over to Teams, giving details of this item over there. Now that's about Nitro Studio. It's a very quick overview of sending through our custom actions or workflows, sending over from the existing application to Teams channel a message, or creating a channel. Say when you create a new project, you want to create a new channel under the projects team there. But there's a lot more to what we're doing here with this. So let me bring back the PowerPoint, and see, that's that. And we're back in the PowerPoint. We're gonna go from this slide over here. We're past all this to the integrations. Now we're on the team bots. Okay, so let's go from current slide. We'll go from there. Okay, and we'll take it from there. Okay. Okay, so create a channel, send a message, so team bots. Now, The Nitro Studio interaction is cool in itself. It's great, but now we're talking about putting bots in teams. So now you're coming more not from the application, passing information to the teams. You're within the teams itself with this FAQ bot, the self-service bot, and the staff support bot that we have for it. Bots are great. They are not robots in the sense of like they're going to do everything for you. They're more what we call conversational interfaces. Now, we've done a lot with bots. We have blogs on it. We have webinars on it. It's something we study and do a lot with because we feel like bots are, the economic argument for bots is huge. I mean, they say they work 24/7. They don't take vacations. They get better with training. This is where the world's going, and it doesn't mean replacing workers. It means amplifying or helping them do their jobs better, and also end users will get a benefit because they could get answers much more quickly, and staff is relieved of kind of tedious, routine kind of questions. So bots is big, it's becoming big, and Crow Canyon's right on top of it and bringing it to the Teams and SharePoint world. It's an area that we're doing a lot of research and a lot of development. So hopefully you guys want to jump on board with us and try it out and see if we can make this really perform useful functions for you. But let's talk about bots is a conversational interface, but it's more than just a simple conversation interface because it involves come back here. It involves a lot of AI services, Azure Cognitive Services. We now have the ability as a small company to leverage really massive amounts of AI, or you could call it, programming knowledge or predictive analytics or natural language processing and language understanding and dialogue management and things like this. The idea of context and memory of what the conversation's about. All these things are being brought in through our use of Azure Cognitive Services. So the bots seem simple, but there's a lot of power behind them, and just a matter of understanding how to use that to benefit your organization is what our goal is to do this. And we don't have to be a Google or a Microsoft or something to access incredible capabilities of the cognitive services. And this is a really great democratization of bots. It's quite a great area, and hopefully we'll be able to talk and go more into it and start some adventures in this direction with you. So the first thing we're going to talk about is an FAQ bot. FAQ bot, I'm not going to dwell on too much. We've done a lot with that. Let me show you on our website here what's going on. Here's our website. Unleash the power, yay. Got a lie in this up here. It's interesting. All right, so anyway, in this we've done, where is it? Bots. Easy to create a Q&A maker FAQ bot in Team. If you go here, this blog article, it's in blogs, resources blog. There's videos, there's a lot of information. I'm not gonna go too into how to do it. In fact, not much at all on how to actually do the mechanics of it, but I'll tell you, you can do it in 20 or 30 minutes if you're reasonably savvy with IT at all. It's not hard at all, but you do have to have an Azure. I mean, there's stuff to it. You have to have Azure services going. Anyway, read the blog if you're interested. Let me show you how it works, and then we'll go more into say, where's that FAQ bot that's going here? Mr. Bot, come back here. Here you are. Bot, calling all bots. Here it is, HR bot. This is one we have using Q&A Maker, which is Microsoft's Azure service, and it's a knowledge base up there, and we use the bot framework to communicate. Hi, bot. Hi, how are you today? So it's going to start returning questions. So the end user can come in here, and of course you can make better icons and names and give it a name if you want to call it like a person's name or whatever. This is just a very basic one. Where is my paycheck? Of course you could have, this is an HR bot. HR, it's oriented towards HR. And it returns this information. It's a call response kind of bot. This information exists up in the Q&A knowledge base that we created. If you want to know the details, see that blog and the videos. And it responds. It can even do stuff like, see, what benefits do you offer? And then it returns information. Now it also can return these where you can go into a little bit more detail like this, like sort of a categorization aspect to the Q&A Maker knowledge base. Then you go in and say FMLA, Family Medical Leave Act, and it'll tell you information about that. and like that. So how to add a dependent. You can type even, see, it's natural language processing, so you don't need to type in exact keywords. I want to add a child to my dependents, to my insurance. Is that right? Insurance? Yeah, insurance. Things like this, you know, all, I mean, of course, this could be not just HR, it could be IT support, it could be IT support, it could be HR, it could be anything, you know, anything that you have a decent knowledge base or FAQs that you can use to develop. And notice this though, I want to add a child to my insurance, and it came back with dependents for insurance, and then fill out this form, and then it can go to a web form and fill it out. But that's the FAQ bot. I don't want to dwell on it too much because there's more sophisticated bots we're going to talk about in this webinar, and there's only so much time in this webinar, and I want to cover it. If you want to know more about this, let us know. We'll go into it. This is something, or read the blog and see the videos. Very useful, and I think it's something that if you do have a decent set of information, you can create a very simple call and response bot like this. I call it simple because it is a simple bot, and it does. And here's the limitations of it. I have it listed here, the limitations of this bot. Okay, yeah, this slide's telling you, where to go to find it, all the information. But I also want to put the limitations of an FAQ bot. It's only question and answer, like call, response, you request. It doesn't remember any context. So if I had a question like, who's the president of France? And it tells me whatever his name is, Marcon, right? Something Marcon. And then I type in, what's his wife's name? It won't remember who his is. His wife's name is completely taken in context of and by itself. See what I mean? So there's no contextual references or guidance through an FAQ bot. It's just like, they'll just say, I don't know, who's his wife? Who's his wife? I have no idea who his is. We know from conversation that we were just talking about the presidents of France, but the bot doesn't remember that. A simple FAQ bot won't remember that. It's just call and response. Also, very important, there's no business processes attached to that bot. You can only do a question answer and maybe give some information. It's very informational type bot. So we've gone way beyond that into the Crow Canyon bots and turned them into, we have an end user self-service bot. You can ask questions and then move on to submitting requests. Staff support bot is for the IT staff or the HR staff or the marketing staff or the facility staff, whatever we want to do. And they can interact with the question tickets through the Teams bot interface. So the thing is, interact with our Nitro-powered applications to drive business processes and produce results for the end users and support. Wow, that's quite a marketing mouthful, isn't it? Let's see, interact with our Nitro-powered applications to drive business processes and produce results for the end users and support. Well, yeah, it makes sense. That sounds good. All right, so let's go see what that actually is. Let's jump into it. Let's go into that side of things. And give me a moment to find that team. Here's a team here. That's the other team. What team are we on? Onboarding. Yeah, this one right here. So, okay. So here we are in the chat. And we have a self-service bot and we have a staff support bot. This is interacting with a IT-based help desk system in the back end. And here we are so let's go to self-service bot. So in your Teams, you have this bot, and you say, and I said hello earlier, so it's coming up with this things I can do in this self-service bot. The end user can come here, and there could be multiple applications that you have. If it's just one, it wouldn't say that. Of course, let me say right now. Let me say this right now. This is highly configurable as far as the wording and the processes that are put in place. This is the front end of this, and it can be changed. The back end, the bot framework we're using, the sophisticated programming we're using, the way we use the APIs to interact with the back end systems, let us worry about that. But we can work with you with our bot design service to come up with what works for you. Is it one application we're dealing with or multiple applications? What do you want people to do? What do you want end users? How's it going to work in your organization? So this is what this kind of a sample bot, let's call it that way. So it says here, I'm here to help you. You can ask me the following. It's telling the user what they can do. They can select the application. You might have an IT app, one interface for IT, HR, marketing, others, so they can go in and select it. Then they follow the path of that particular application in terms of their self-service. They can view all their open requests that are out there. that they've made. This is for an end user, remember now, not staff. So the end user can see all the requests they made. They can do a search using a certain search key of a past entered a ticket they entered in previously, a request, and they may have a new question or issue they want to discuss. So let's look at this one. Select my open request, or view my open request. I mean, it's going to tell what request this logged in user with Pavan, PK, Pavan, has out there. So let's see what Pavan has going on. So now it's checking the application to find out what open tickets I have, open requests I have as an end user where I submitted this request. And these are just samples. They don't say much, but it could be something like I need a new laptop, or I want to take a vacation, or I need we need to market materials for next week or something. All kinds of things like that. Whatever the open request is, you can see a little information about it. The case ID, the title, who entered it, what status is, if there's a due date on it. And you can also view more and more and more if you want. And you can also open up this item right by clicking on it. And it will open up the details about it inside of Teams. It doesn't necessarily have to go to the back-end application. And the person, when you open this up, the end user can go in and say, okay, it's been assigned to James or Steve-O, it's a new due date, and they want to view it in a browser, they can. They want to view it, the request as it exists in the back-end application, they can. But they can also add notes to it or comments, or they can close it and say, well, no, it's done. I don't need a vacation after all. Close the ticket, and which is very unlikely actually, but there are some things where maybe the end user resolve the problem right away. So that's viewing the open request. But let's look at what else is here. So if we go back, to the beginning, we type help. It's going to give me that list of what I can do again. Again, highly configurable. Like I said, we could add other options here for what you can do when the end user is engaging with the ticket. You might not want them to engage at all. You might want them to send an email. I don't know, all kinds of things. But anything could be added to this bot to make it possible for them, the end user, to engage with their request management through the Teams interface. So again, let's look at search. They can search for one here if they want. Let's try that. So let's go to search. Search request using search key. So the search key could be, let me see if I got this right. Network. I think I might have to put that in search key. They updated some of the wording last night. So let's go here. Key. Let's see if that works. Let's see what it says. Yeah, I probably don't have that search name right. But anyway, so the point is you can search using search key. Let me try it like that. Network. I want to make this work. So anyway, this is the thing. There it goes. Yeah, the syntax. Okay, so these are some that this guy has a lot of networking issues, obviously. So there it is. And you put them there. And so it found those by a search. And then if that's, we can go here again. And a lot of people might just go straight to, I have a question or issue. Okay, you have a question or issue. Please tell me more. Of course, you can have this wording any you want. This is fun with the bot. You can make it there's this idea of bot personality, whether you want it casual, formal, friendly, informal, all kinds of different things to do. So there's kind of fun with the bot personalities you can do. So tell me more. The printer is just not working well. I am getting frustrated. Okay. Now, what's interesting, and I was talking to the dev team about this yesterday, is like, I am getting frustrated could indicate a emotional state that could be responded to. And it's kind of an interesting avenue we may go with this, is to say, oh, maybe if they're frustrated, we need to, notify the manager, take some action, notify a manager, or put some consoling words, or I don't know what you could do with that. But it's interesting that you can detect from the input, not just the fact of what they're doing, the facts of the statement, but also some emotional content to it too, because there's certain words that indicate emotional content that can be reacted to with a bot. But that's like a phase 2 thing we'll do. So anyway, using NLP, it found some knowledge base articles, and it's offering these articles as a possible solutions to the person. Person can open it up, take a look. Then my problem's resolved. Bada bing, done. Not resolved. I want to enter more detail. Yeah, you didn't get it. You know, you could show related articles that maybe these weren't it, but we're trying to find some other ones. You could submit a ticket or start over. So maybe you want to enter more detail. You don't get it. The toner, you know, it could be, the toner is low. The bot tends to be like kind of neutral, you know, just give back articles. So fixing a paper jam, see it had found the word toner, you know, there's ways. The bot's functionality is dependent on having the knowledge base in good shape. And that's where we can help with our data optimization services and things like that to make sure that there's a correspondence. And let me say something else at this point before I forget. This bot learns as it goes. And as everything that's here, it goes into the bot, what we call telemetry or, you know, analytics, so that you will know how was this question answered by the bot or not. If it's not answered, then that's an indicator to you to go back and create a knowledge base article. Say there was 5 or 10 issues that week that weren't answered by the bot due to certain phrasing. So darn it, I better put an article about replacing the toner for printers X and X or whatever. I'm being detailed, but you can imagine that once you know what questions the people are asking in the telemetry analytics, which are easy, you know, it's like a log file that has some dashboards and reports and everything in it. That telemetry will tell you that you can now, hey, if we create a KB article, we'll satisfy those 10 people's answers. I mean, it gets better. This thing never takes a vacation. 24/7, you know, free training. It gets better with usage. This is really exciting. Economic argument for this is huge in terms of its capabilities and you know what it does take. It's my experience doing this over 20 years. It takes a knowledgeable company like ours that knows how to do these kind of bot designs and studies it. It's not like you just whip it up. You know, you could do probably that FAQ bot, like that's just call and response. But to do a sophisticated bot really helps to have a company that's experienced with it and knows how to develop this and put it in place. So here we are. What was he doing? I was doing okay, maybe that didn't answer the problem. So now we want to submit a ticket. So now we're talking about way beyond the FAQ bot. We're doing business process automation. We're bringing into the ticketing system. So it has now requested, it has created a request with that title and it says, thank you for using it. Now, if I go here, I could either click here and open that request. Here it is right here. If I open this up, it showed me this new one, number 239, that was just created because I said submit a ticket, and it used information that I previously entered into the bot conversation that I had to create the ticket. And I could open it up and edit it more. I could add notes. I could say, oh, no, that was wrong. Let's close it. Anyways, all this is being like analyzed. You know, if you look at this and you really want the bot to be effective and produce the economic results that it can, then you're going to be saying, as it gets in use, that it's going to get better and better because they say, okay, why'd they just open and then close it? That, you know, what happened there? What information are we not giving? You know, these kind of things that are going to fine tune the user's experience, fine tune the bot so the user gets the best experience. And whatever we said in that slide about interact with bots to provide business process automation efficiency. Well, you get the idea. You know, it's like, cool. Anyway, what are we doing here? Where you got requests, you don't get it, you can open it up, you can add notes. And then if you want to go here and just say view my open request, you'll see it again there in the new one. Oh, that's right, I got to enter. Would help. So you got to go and then you'll see there it is. You don't get it. The toner is low. You know. That's the new ticket we just entered, right? And then view my open request. All right, so that's the end user experience. There's more to it. We'd be glad to show you a demo or work with you on how this could be implemented in your organization. But there's another level here also called the staff support bot. The staff support bot, the orientation here is that you are now a staff member coming in, you know, not an end user. Of course, the staff could use the end user bot, self-service bot. Why not? Why not use a bot? Hot to trot for a bot. That was a webinar we did in April called Hot to Trot for a Bot. It's very ripe for rhyming to use the word bot. We have crowbots, you know, crowbots like Crow Canyon, crowbots. Anyway, it's It's a lot of fun. Working with bots is kind of fun. And our designer makes these like cute little bot interfaces. Anyway, so here we are with the staff support bot. I'm here to help you manage your service desk or whatever desk it is, HR, whatever. You could be HR. Hi, HR. How can I help you? You know, whatever. And again, if it was one application, you wouldn't have to select it. So we oriented this towards maybe the staff person's doing multiple, just to show you what's possible. But I think if you're in IT or you're in HR, you wouldn't even have this first option because it would know that you're going to HR. So what has been assigned to me? Okay, let me find out. I mean, you would know, but you want to view them. So view my assign requests. And so now you're working on requests, right? So you're concerned about your assign request. So it's going to open up the assign request and say new ticket. Remember that number 238? Number 239 we just created about the printer low, toner low is not assigned yet, so it's going to be in the unassigned group here. If I have to go here and look at this one right here, new ticket number 38, 238, and then here it is right here. And the staff person can now go to the browser and open up that ticket if he or she wishes, but they can also add notes. They can assign it, reassign it in this case, or they could resolve it and mark it resolved. And you can put whatever actions you want here. I mean, it could be more than that. Depends how your service desk or HR desk or work order desk, whatever your desk you're in operates. It depends how it operates. It's very highly customizable, and then you're going to have various buttons you can do there to make it happen. You can add notes to it, add a comment, and it'll show up on the work log. Now, what can happen is you can get really interesting business process automation going, because if I add a note here, it can trigger a workflow over there that notifies other people. I mean, it's quite interesting how you can build this very intersecting kind of functionality that makes automation really happen through our Nitro Studio workflows and custom actions, through the Teams integration. These things all mesh together to perform the function, and the ultimate goal is to make it easy and smooth and frictionless, I guess, for as much as possible for the staff to do their job and get things done and that, you know, notify the user. So it says they met with who's the user? Met with user yesterday and need to order a new toner cartridge. I don't know, into that, whatever. Anyway, so that would be part of the ticket. Now it could be, say you had something here where you're going to take that and has to be assigned to or moved to a purchasing group or to a you know, another group that will handle the actual order. You know, so different things you can do to move it along in here. So it could become it may be even approval. I mean, actually, I didn't even think about it. I mean, didn't even mention that, but it could be approved, disapproved, could be a buttons right here, obviously an option there. But let's look at this in the browser, this new ticket, and you'll see that notes were added to the work log here, which is, where's the work log? Met with user yesterday and need to order a new toner card. I just typed that in. So now people on the back end in the application see the information that I entered in the front end of the Teams staff support bot right here. I could reassign it, I could resolve it, I could do other things with it. Then if I want to view, let's go back here and view unassigned requests. So we're building a lot of capabilities, functionality to the point where the staff member can do a lot of their work in the Teams interface, and this will expand as we build our more and more robustness into the Teams integration. It's an awful lot in there right now. So here we go. This is the what did I say? Oh, got to enter. Yeah. So let's look at the unassigned request. If you don't get it, so let's go here. Let's go assign this one. The manager could be here. Oh, a new request came in like this. Get a notification on it, and then go ahead and assign it, pick it up, or assign it to somebody else. Let's assign to giving us, you know, people in this group. You know, gives us right to the Active Directory there, and we go assign it to that person. Bada bing. So now it's been assigned to James R. He'll get notice and be told about it. You know, he'll get a notice, and then when he's going to his staff support bot, he would show up in his view assigned tickets. Well, whatever. I'm not gonna worry about something like that. That always happens in demos. What would a demo be out without that? All right, so now we're going into, you can say, you can do a search again. You can open a request by case ID. You can create a, oh good, self-service sent a bot telling me that it was assigned. Okay, good. Let's see what it says. You don't get it, it's a card over here, assigned to James Restivo. Yeah, see, it told me it was assigned to James Restivo. Self-service bot, and notified me. So it's unassigned, I signed it, now it's over here notifying me as the user who entered that ticket that it's been assigned to James. If you want that notification, go back to user, it can. All right, so create another request, search KB, open request, let's go open request by case ID, open. Request by case ID, and that'd be 230. Let's go back with 239 again and see what that does. So there you go, assigned to James. Okay, there's more. It's almost getting towards the top of the hour. We can see what are we saying here? Oh, I can see if there are any questions. Doesn't seem to be too many questions, but I'm sure people are just dazzled by all this, so they have to think about questions later. Haha, right? So anyway, the point here is there's amazing things you can do with this Teams integration. This is just, we're scratching the surface. This is a great integration tool, and we're seeing a lot of potential for moving forward to amplify the power and capabilities of our Nitro-based applications with this new functionality of the Teams integration, whether you're a staff support bot or you're on a self-service bot or you're using Nitro Studio to build an application, or use one of our existing applications and you want to communicate with teams, or you want to create channels from projects, you want to communicate a message to a certain channel in Teams. This is making Teams, in my mind, my view, a lot more useful, functional, and capable by building business processes into the Teams interface. It isn't just like chit chat, blah, blah, blah. This is actually performing real business functions that have usefulness to the organization. So this isn't frivolous, trivial stuff anymore. This becomes real functionality. And what we do here at Crow Canyon, of course, we do the Nitro-based, we do Nitro Studio, we do the Nitro-based applications, but we're moving much more into the bot world. Some upcoming webinars, I'll go back to that in a minute. I want to show you what we're doing. Crow Canyon's evolving into Crowbots, Crow Canyon bots, Crowbots, and to me, as a CEO, president, I see this more and more as the future of business process automation, to be honest, is to using the AI services that are now available to the masses, in a sense, to do this powerful natural language processing and predictive analytics, and really start to automate business processes in a real sense, rather than just require so much back and forth with the user, with the staff and the users and the users and the staff. Because if you do a bot that answers questions right away, you solve the double problem, the double I call the double work problem. The end user, if they submit a request in the traditional way of filling out a form and press and submit, they have to wait for a response. So their work is stalled or that question, answer that question or the issue is stalled until staff deems it necessary or finds the time to answer, right? Could be right away, but it could be also a substantial amount of time. So you have the time of the end user being eaten up, and you have the time of the staff person being eaten up by responding. So that's what I call the double problem. And so if you do a bot where the end user comes in, the FAQs and the knowledge base are able to respond, and they say 60% of at least in IT support are routine questions like that, and mostly how do I change a password or something, then if they can respond right away, then you solve that problem. Staff is reducing their workload substantially, maybe 50 or 60% in well, it's obviously a best case scenario, but at least 10 or 20% or something. And then they're going to be able to focus on other more relevant and important projects that always seem to be waiting in the wings, but never have time because you're putting out fires. So the bot is really has the potential to do that. So we are investing a lot in this. We have AI-based chatbots for our applications. That's what we just showed you. Some of the, the self-service bot and the staff support bot. We can help you with FAQ bot too, if you want. If you want to put your toe in the water kind of thing and get going. How that's done. We can build custom chatbots. Now, when we get the custom chatbots, they run not only in Teams, we also can run them on the websites. It doesn't have to be Teams. We are talking about Teams integration in this webinar, so I'm emphasizing that, but we do chatbots that run on the web. and they become interactive with a web portal interface. We also do bot discovery service, where we work you to design a bot that meets your specific needs. It's conversational, and there's certain methodologies we use to go through that, and how make sure the bot is going to fit, how you bring it online, how you bring it up, initiate it in the organization, and then the carry on a bot, we call it telemetry or analytics, that shows you how to continuously improve this bot and analyze the data, make sure you get the right data so that the bot gets better and better and better. So I think there's a lot of management reluctance is what I find to be the first to jump in the pool kind of thing with bots, but large organizations are doing it. Enterprises, you see it all over, and small mid-sized organizations are jumping on board with this too, but it's a little bit more cautious approach. And hopefully with Crow Canyon, you'll feel that we are a partner to work with in the bot world, as well as the business application world and Office 365 business process automation world, and then we can have that discussion and talk more and more about how we can implement this new technology for you and your users in your organization. So let me go back one slide and talk about the upcoming webinars. We have one on good government.
Yeah, this is James real quick. Just before we do that, we did have a couple of questions pop into the question box.
Oh, great. All right, James, let's go over them.
All right, so the first one was, what permissions are needed to create a new team channel or send a team message?
Okay, there's some things with Teams administration where, first of all, at an organization-wide level, you need to allow email to come in. That's the default is yes in Teams administration. That's one thing. And then to create the channel, it depends on if they have to have permissions in that channel to do it. So if I go over to that bot, where the heck is it? This staff support bot, and I'm in the Teams. Did you hear me?
Yeah. I was just saying, I think I answered it incorrectly. So this is good. You're going through it. Yeah.
So you go here and you have, well, actually at the Teams level, you have to go to manage team. And you can do this in the Teams administration on the back end too. If this doesn't have to be done here, but you can add a member. There are certain permissions, like these are all owners, but if you're a member, you can for instance, have them create. Creating a channel requires certain permission, but sending a message is open to everybody to send a message in according to what you set up in the Teams administration and the administration here, okay? Now, what exactly you need, we can go into what it is. To create a channel, I believe you need to be either an owner. I'd have to get you information on exactly what the permissions is, but there is.
I think we're using the Graph API to some extent for that.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
We can get in the details. We'll get into the weeds of that and send that answer out.
Yeah, and of course it's part of governance, because you want to make sure that not everybody in the world, is creating channels in numerous, like the Sorcerer's Apprentice, like boom, 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 or something. So you want to make sure that it's contained, kind of situation. And sending messages though is pretty much more open, but you can restrict that. I can go to the Teams administration here. Admin Teams. This is another workshop I wanted to do a webinar about governance and Teams and all that kind of stuff. But security, compliance. Good question. Any other questions come up while I muck around with this?
Yeah. There's one other question about licensing. Does the self-service or staff support bot require any different Microsoft 365 licenses?
No, not at all. You can see here in the email integration, allow users to send emails to a channel email address, for example, that's on by default, for example, organization-wide settings. Of course, you can do it per team too. You can do different when you manage teams. You can come in and set things in here, all that, and go and manage the team and all that kind of stuff. All right. See, there's settings of the teams, allow editing of sent message channels, There's different ways you can manage it inside of that administration. Okay, anything else, James?
Those are the two. Yeah, those are the two that came in. But that's it.
Good. Well, good questions, and we'll talk about them more. Let's see if I get back to the presentation. Oh yeah, so we have one on good government next week, and then we have one with awesome applications powered by Nitro Studio, because we're emphasizing the fact that our applications all rely on this Nitro Studio, and what it has in it is quite amazing and quite capable set of features and functions that can really help your organization automate not only the Teams integration. Okay, so to learn more, there's a whole bunch of stuff on bots on our website. And let me go over to that and show that. Bots, okay. Where are we? Bots. And there's also, let me go here to the last page of this and show you the contact information. So we are, we're going to wrap it up pretty soon. It's just about the top of the hour, but contact us, sales, Twitter, follow us on Twitter, follow us on LinkedIn, come to our website, sales@Gokan, give us a call. These are things that we really like doing, and talking to people and finding out what their needs are and what their experience is, what their requirements are. And now we're trying to go to this one and show you some of the website. There's a lot of material on the website about our teams. We have a teams page here, teams resources. We have a number of blogs. We have the chatbots and AI page here with the Hot for Trot video here, and it was showing you how we do chatbots. We do natural language processing, email sentiment analysis, data optimization, Q&A maker bots. So, and there's a bunch of resources down here also. So this is just, you go to bots and AI on our Crow Canyon page. So appreciate everyone attending. If any future questions, give us a call, send us an email, check out what services we provide. And if these can be useful to your organization, we'll be very glad to jump in with you, talk about it, do some discovery, and find out how we can use both Microsoft Teams and our integration with it and sort of the corollary of bots to build, to further optimize your business process automation and your efficiency of your organization, and really just help everybody do their job better, make life easier for your workers, for your staff, and bring this technology to bear to your usefulness for your organization. So I appreciate everyone attending, and we'll have recording available and a slide deck after the webinar. I hope everyone has a good day, stay safe, and take care. Thank you again for joining. Okay, bye.